So today, Treyarch has gone into much more detail of all of the updates coming to Cold War Zombies with Season 3 Reloaded, and my gosh, is there a lot. Like, there are some major weapon tuning updates, there are some things that are happening in relation to, obviously, the main Easter egg, intel, a new mode, and just a bunch of stuff like that that we gotta go over because there is a lot of information here. Now, I will admit, when we are going through this, there are some stuff that we are currently already aware of, especially if you guys watch my most recent video, because recently Treyarch also released another blog post that went over this update too, but it didn't go into much depth on these things, so this is just a more in-depth and also more things just mentioned in here, especially with that weapon tuning that we're going to be going over here today. But either way, let's not waste any more time because we got to go over a lot of different things. And just to give you an idea, this is where Zombie starts. If we scroll all the way here, it's still going, and up to right here. So there's a lot of stuff, to say the very least. So we got a lot of stuff to go over. So let's go ahead and get back to the zombies location. I think we went all the way to multiplayer. Pretty cringe. Either way, here we go. So the first thing they start off with is the most important thing in this update, and of course that is Outbreak. Psych, it's Crank 2. So Crank 2, no time to crank. Don't really care about Crank personally, but for the people who are interested, it just, I guess I'll quickly read this, is that a new variant of Crank comes to Firebase C and D Machina. All Mystery Box locations are activated, and Mystery Box now feature action movie inspired weapons and support. Frequency of support in the Mystery Box is increased. All players will spawn with knives. Zombies are more likely to drop lethal explosive equipment when killed, Semtex frags, and monkey bombs. Keep killing zombies and to add to your crank timer before you explode. Crafting table, wall buys, and main quests are disabled. So at least they're nice enough to tell us that the main quest is just not going to be available instead of us waiting to figure out and get disappointed. So at least there's that. Either way, let's get into the actual important stuff. So this is what we know about, but at least we get some more confirmation. New content. New main Easter egg available on Outbreak starting at 10 a.m. Pacific on May 20th. One thing I'm a little bit curious about though is that even though we've known this information, I'm still curious that is just the main quest going to go live on May 20th at 10 a.m. and the rest of this update is going to be live before that, or is this entire update going live at May 20th at 10 a.m.? I don't know, something that I'm a little curious about. Either way, add an Orda Encounter World event to Outbreak. We knew about that. Should have been there from the start, but it's at least we know there. More about fishing in Outbreak. Added fishing to Outbreak. Look for fishing poles scattered throughout the Ural Mountains and reel in some items. I imagine that's just going to be... Yo, they're probably going to hide intel and fishing. I already know it, but there's probably mainly just going to be... whatever that stuff's called, salvage or whatever, we'll see. But either way, that's what I think it is. Either way, added new intel documents, audio logs, radio transmissions, and artifacts to discover. Cool stuff. And then we get into something that I'm pretty sure is good unless I'm dumb and misreading this. But it said, tune Tempest to reduce chest weak points, health, and mitigate damage. So this is a very weird way to word this, but I think what they're saying here is that the Tempest got a nerf and that it's going to be weaker. Or it could be the exact opposite and it got a buff and it's harder to kill. But I think they wouldn't do something as stupid as that because the Tempest is the most annoying thing in the history of Cold War Zombies, and it's at least up there in the history of zombies. It is just so bad, dude. So hopefully it got a nerf, and hopefully that's what that is. Either way, tune Karazni so that jetpack requires less damage to destroy. Nice, because I hate when he jumps at me and lights me on fire, because that effing thing, that flamethrower does so much damage. So yeah, either way, reduce the number of Tempests that can spawn on Duga region. Thank goodness. Oh my gosh, that was ridiculous. Address the various zombie pathing issues on Ruka and Duga regions. Address an issue where players were unable to ping PEX ID badge. I was aware of that, so I'm glad that's fixed. Either way, close an exploit related to activating the chopper gunner when going through the phase wall tier. Not sure what that was. Either way, close an exploit where players could escape the holdout objective in the Duga region. Okay, that's nice. World events. Increase the Fury Crystal timer. That's very nice because I could not complete that in time no matter how hard I tried. I think I only completed it once ever since it's been added, so I'm glad that the timer has been increased because that shot timer was way too short. Either way, addressing an issue where the Demented Echo's health would continue to scale while you progress regions. So what I was informed with the Demented Echo was actually the jump scare fiery boy that you find on Outbreak, but I guess Treyarch thought it was necessary that his health would be buffed through the regions. I guess, I don't know, kind of weird to me, but at least it's there. I don't know. Objectives. Address the issue where all zombie kills in one of the holdout objectives on Golova were rewarding XP for barricade kills. Wait, what? I don't really get what that they're trying to say there, but I guess it's been fixed. UI added the ability to ping overhead map using the free cursor. This is something that should have been there from the launch of Outbreak, but all it is when you open up the map on Outbreak, you could have a free cursor that you could use to ping things on the map, pretty much as you saw inside or seen inside Warzone, which it's kind of weird that it took them so long to add that, but at least it's finally there, especially when you want to just point out to your teammates like where to go. It's easier just to ping it like that. Either way, stability address stability issues related to vehicles. Good stuff. Either way, right here we have ourselves Dead Ops Arcade 3 stuff, which I don't really want to go over because there's a lot of regular stuff to go over. As you guys can see, look at all this, which I don't really want to go over because it's a lot of stuff that really isn't that important, if I'm being completely honest. So I'll just quickly summarize the most important things. And what that is that they're adding a new map region to Dead Ops Arcade, and they're also adjusting a lot of issues with the game itself. And I'm sure there's other stuff in here, but that's the main things. And same thing with Onslaught, since it's PlayStation exclusive right now. I don't really want to go over it too much, but just know there's a new mode that is added into Onslaught, so a new variant of Onslaught, and also Standoff was added to it, but that is the main stuff. And then we get to some disappointing stuff with progression, because what we have here is what we were told as main Easter egg rewards, or rewards for completing main Easter eggs, because we've been asking Treyarch for something to reward, some sort of rewards to complete main Easter eggs, because Treyarch forgot how to reward players for doing their main Easter eggs. They no longer give you Perkaholic or anything like that. It's just super stupid. But unfortunately, this just ain't it, Chief, to be honest. Oh my gosh, I say that it ain't it, Chief, in 2021. Either way, what it says is completing main quest will now reward players with bonus Ethereum crystals equivalent to that of the last available exfil. So this is dumb for a lot of different reasons. First things first is that why the heck is the reward equivalent to the last available exfil? Like, do you know the difference in difficulty it is to complete a main Easter egg and exfilling? Like, you should get way more for completing an Easter egg than just a regular exfil. So to me, that's just dumb. And the second thing is that the Ethereum crystals, like the people who are going to be running back Easter eggs over and over again, are probably the hardcore players and the people who really want the rewards. So for the people that are hardcore players, they probably max out their Ethereum crystals. So this already is completely useless. So kind of cringe. I'm glad at least they're trying to do something, but this just ain't it. Either way, we're going to move on, though. I've been saying either way way too many times, so I need to stop doing that because people were making fun of me for saying something over and over in my last video. But either way, gameplay. Maximum health caps for all enemy types have been raised to provide a more challenge above round 40. So they just buffed the health of everything above round 40. So all zombies, all boss zombies, everything just has more health in the higher rounds, which I don't play high rounds, so I don't really know if that's a big deal, but I guess we'll find out when this update goes live. But I will say that there may be some mitigation to how much of effect this has with the updates to the weapons, and we'll get into that later. But for now, just know that that's the thing. It's going to be pretty big. Close an exploit that allowed players to become invulnerable when using jump pads while in the Tombstone Shout form. Wait, why haven't they kept all the exploit fixes in one area? Why have they spread them throughout this thing? Either way, I don't know. Here's some stuff we've already known about, but the mystery box, they're adding a bunch of DLC guns to the mystery box, those being Groza, Mac-10, Street Sweeper, Farah, LC-10, R1 Shadowclaw, ZRG 20mm, Sledgehammer, Wakizashi, Machete, and E-Tool. On top of that, these will also be available through the trial rewards, and so all the DLC guns could be possible rewards when you do or complete a trial. Also, they removed the trial that requires taking damage and healing, which is very nice because it was so annoying when you got that challenge and you had full armor and you're like, now I just got to break all my armor. Pretty cringe. So I'm glad that thing is gone. A nice quality of life change though is with field upgrades. All field upgrades will now activate faster instead of waiting for the wand animation. And I'm sure everyone's been through this, but when you go to activate, like you're in a corner and you got swarmed by zombies and you go to activate your ether shroud, but your ether shroud has to wait till the whole animation of pulling the wand up and then activating, and you die in that meantime, and then so you die, and then your stupid thing still activates, your ether shroud still activates, but it's when you're down. And it's so dumb. It's the dumbest stuff ever. So I'm glad that they're, you know, getting rid of the wait for the animation. It's going to make it much easier to use ether shroud, and really this is a major buff for ether shroud, and it's going to be nice for all of them in general, but it's going to be a huge buff for ether shroud. Either way, address an issue while activating Healing Aura that could reset other players' field to upgrade progression bar, which I actually was aware of this, so I'm glad this is fixed. Next thing is that support. Double the ammo capacity for the combat bow in zombies, and also this really big one, self-revive cost will now increase by 50 high-grade salvage every time it is crafted. Something that the hardcore high-round peoples have been asking for, so I'm glad for them. Kind of cringe for me that, you know, someone who is not huge into high rounds, but, you know, at least for them, they're getting what they want. Next thing we have is perks. Address the issue where Deadshot Daiquiri was not applying properly to the R1 Shadow Hunter, which, nice, I guess. Challenges, upgraded Monkey Shine daily challenge to describe requirements more accurately. Okay. Custom mods, it's not what you think. Added custom mod blueprint support to apply blueprint feature. This is something that was in the game and it wasn't working properly, so they removed it and it's just coming back, so it's just coming back. Ballistic Knives. Projectiles from Ballistic Knives will now destroy dark ether crystals. Okay. Address the issue where some of the camos were appearing as unlocked early for the Ballistic Knife. Glad that's fixed. R1 Shadow Hunter. Projectiles from the R1 Shadow Hunter can now destroy dark ether crystals. Again, okay. ZRG 20mm. Oh my gosh, I got this dark ether before this stupid update. The address an issue where the ZRG 20mm lacked bullet penetration after being upgraded via Pack-a-Punch. Weapon camos. Address an issue where the Pack-a-Punch camo was not applying to weapon blueprints. This is actually really nice because I had no idea that this was not intentional. So it's actually gonna look really nice when you have a blueprint and then the Pack-a-Punch camo goes on top of that. So I really like that. This is huge poggers for me. And then we get into the last but a very major update, and these are the weapon tunings. Now, what I'll say is that the vast majority of this weapon tuning is going to be a buff to a lot of these guns, and these buffs are going to be rather magazine, stock, or damage. So that's all of these updates for the most part and what they're going to be. And just to give you an example, and because we're not going to go over each and every one of these guns that are getting a buff, we'll just give you an example with the XM4. Increase the critical damage multiplier from 2.8 to 4.4, which is a major update, and all of these are going to have this 2.8 to 4 something. It's going to be 4.4 or 4.2 or something like that, which is something they also mentioned here. It could be 2.8 to 4.5. So this is actually a huge headshot multiplier, so that's really cool, and this actually may mitigate that high round buff to the zombies' health that we also saw we're going to get. So that's actually really nice, especially for a Deadshot Daiquiri, because Deadshot Daiquiri is going to be a lot more useful now that you're getting nearly double headshot damage on almost all of your guns. And especially since the low round zombie health hasn't been buffed, this is going to make headshots so powerful. So I can't wait to see how powerful headshots are going to be. But either way, to quickly come back to what I was saying, just to give you an idea of how all these updates are going to be, or buffs to these guns are going to be. Also, they'll increase just regular damage, which as you guys see from 62 to 67, and also headshot, and also ammo capacity right here, as you guys see for Krieg. You have increased the ammo stock, and also, you know, that stuff like that. So that's generally what all the buffs are going to be. So we're not going to go over all of them. If you want to, you guys can check it out yourself. But what we are going to go over are the nerfs, because secretly hidden within all these buffs there are a couple nerfs, and it is kind of sad which ones have got nerfed, because what we have to head to, as you guys may be expecting, we're heading to the shotguns. So the Howler 77, Added a mid-range damage of 56. I don't know if that was a buff or a nerf or what the heck it was, but either way, that's something. Increased the minimum damage from 42 to 48. So buff so far, right? And then we get into the nerfs. Decrease the ammo stock from 90 to 60. Holy! And then for the pack punch version, orange, what the heck? Orion, excuse me, 777. Added a mid-range damage of 112 or 112. Decrease the ammo capacity from 12 to 10, so that's not epic, and decrease the stock from 96 to 60. So some not epic nerfs coming in here for the hauler. And it's not just the hauler, we have the shotgun Bravo, which I'm pretty sure this is the Gallo if I'm not mistaken, but as you guys can see, they do give it a mini buff right here, increase the maximum multi-shot damage, base damage, excuse me, from 40 to 45. Again, okay, but then we get into the nerfs, which is decrease the ammo capacity from 16 to 15, decrease the stock ammo from 112 to 75. Holy dude, this ammo nerf is not very epic, but then they give a nerf to Street Sweeper, so whatever. Either way, that's sadly not the only nerf. Of course, these are other buffs for other things, but then we get into wonder weapons, which I can imagine already you guys aren't too happy, which there are a little nerfs. It's 2 nerfs with 2 buffs, so, you know, whatever. But either way, the ray gun decreased the stock ammo from 80 to 60. Holy crap, how many times are they going to nerf the stock ammo on the ray gun? Just stop it, Treyarch. Stop, dude. You messed up. You're ruining this ray gun, dude. Everyone loved it at launch. Stop doing this. And then for the pack punch variant of the gun, they do increase the ammo capacity, like in the magazine, from 20 to 30, which is nice. But they increase the stock ammo from 80 to 90. But then they do some cringe stuff like this. Decrease the minimum radius damage from 800 to 700. So not too happy of what they did with the ray gun. It's not the worst nerf in the world. There were definitely worse nerfs, but that either way, that's going to be it for everything here. And I know throughout this video I said either way too many times, but hopefully throughout this video this gave you guys a good idea of everything to expect with Season 3 Reloaded. And if this was useful to you in any way, shape, and form, and also if you guys are hyped for this stuff and you guys want to stay tuned for when this update actually goes live for the hunt and everything that's going to be going crazy, definitely do all the normal YouTube stuff, like, subscribe, bell, share, and all that great stuff. But I'm going to go. I'll catch you guys next stream, video, or whatever the heck it may be, and laters, guys.